Good morning, it is Clay at claytrader.com. This will be a live trade video where I try to capture my trades as they play out live. Market opens up here in about 8 minutes. Real quick, when I say live, what I mean is that this is not a situation where I've already made the recording and now I'm going to come back and do some sort of voiceover or post commentary. So this is not a trade recap or anything like that. I'm recording myself, seeing the information, seeing the data for the very first time. So in other words, I don't know what's coming next. So if you just want an unscripted, nitty-gritty look into what it's like to be a day trader, how day trading can play out, then this will be a video for you. So a couple different stocks that I'm thinking about watching: BYND, SNAP, maybe Facebook out of the opening gates. So it's kind of not quite sure yet, and we'll see what happens. Right now, I think it'll be BYND, but again, this is live. I don't know what's coming next, so that is definitely subject to change, but that's my thought process as of now. I'll go ahead and pause and be back at the open. All right, the markets are now open. Very curious about this $92 level here on BYND. We'll see if it wants to come into play or not. Definitely watching other ones too. If you do hear typing, that's just me making alerts in the community that I offer. So still watching 92. Want to see if it wants to come into play here. Ooh, Facebook looking good though. And really BYND just kind of bouncing around sideways. What is that? 326.75. 326.75 flush. Let's come check out Snapchat here. Yeah, 58.25-ish potential interesting area. But not really the greatest of setups. Okay, well, I will go ahead and pause for now. And if I see a setup that I want to take action on, or that I'm at least thinking about taking action on, I'll get the video rolling. All right, approaching 92. In there at 92. Let's see if we can get the breakdown through it. There's the break, and it moved 1 penny. Okay, now we're getting some movement here. All right, I'm out there for the $133. This was based on the pre-market chart. Look at that steady support. Steady, steady, steady. In my mind, when that thing broke, it should have gotten moving like now. And you saw it, and now it's up above that level. Still may come down, but in my mind, if I got the, I already took a risk in the sense of, will it even break 92? It broke 92. And then if you scroll back and watch, it broke and went down 1 penny. So that was almost like the leading indicator. And then you can see it just absolutely zero follow through. Again, it may still go, but my premise going in was, if this falls, it's going to get moving like now. And that just didn't happen at all. So let's see what else is. Facebook. What is that? 326.50. 326.50. In there at 326.50 here on Facebook. Let's see if this wants to come down now. Like the setup here. Let's see what it wants to do. In fact, do I want to maybe add at 326.50? I do. 326.50 wants to come back into play. I'm going to add in some more shares there. Or never mind. See if that was just a temporary spike or if that had some true strength behind it. Wow, got to be out there. Down $500 now on the day. What a turnaround that thing was. Wow, that was a great setup too. Really like that one. Still do like it. Maybe at 328. But yeah, look at it. Just continuing to grind higher now. All right, well. Oh, yep, BYND still not doing anything. So still feel fine about that one. All right, now I am down on the morning. Oh, mRNA. What do we got going on here? 326 potentially. Interesting break. Keep an eye on it. Check out PYPL. Let's come back and look at Snap. So 59.50 maybe? 59.50 down to, what is that up there? 59.50. Potentially, yeah. I don't know. A very tight range all of a sudden on this one. And look at that. BYND. Boom. Definitely played that one right. Wow. What a stubborn, just such well-defined area as I was showing you. And then no follow-through at all. What's the low of that? 92.75. So maybe some sort of fake breakout type bounce here. All right, I will pause. Well, and here we are, 326.50 once again in play. Coming right back down. Clay, why did you get out then? I know. I just didn't have hindsight though. I feel like this is the time it goes. Watching closely though. Okay, in there at 326.50. Can we finally get the break? Or did I just get suckered in once again? We're about to find out. Might have to go through a little bit of a consolidation before it drops, which would not be shocking. Of course, I don't want to see this thing bounce. A little bit of sideways movement, yeah, that's fine. But let's see if it wants to get the move to the downside, or if this level is going to once again hold strong. And this area is very clearly very stubborn. Okay, getting somewhat of a movement down through here. Okay. Took off 50 shares. Could still be a losing trade. But I am just trying to pull off a little bit of shares here just in case. Still 300 shares left. So plenty of room to still participate in any sort of upwards movement here. The longer it takes, the less confidence I have. All right, well, didn't quite get the fall. Oh, wow. Well, that's embarrassing. Well, that's how the market works. Get out and then right back down it goes just like that. Well, I thought I had given it plenty of time, but very clearly I did not give it plenty of time. All right, well, let's see what else is out there. Looking at 324 here on mRNA, just 50 shares. The idea being that I can potentially add to it if I'm not right away. I mean, if it wants to consolidate and then break through, I can add. So if I'm right and it actually goes right in my favor, then yes, with 50 shares, I'm not going to make a lot. On the flip side, though, if I'm just totally wrong and it goes against me, I'm not going to lose that much. So I'm going to start with 50. But again, the idea here is to add to the position if if it warrants adding to it. But again, want to see the 324 mark. So I will go ahead and pause for now. All right, maybe coming down to 324 here. But maybe not. All right, never mind. I'll pause. Okay, maybe starting to drop back down. In there at 324. So clearly I believe that this trend line can be broken to the downside. So I'm trying to anticipate that break here a little bit. But let's see if that indeed wants to happen. Could look to add at, let's call it 323.50. in the spirit of adding to a winner. You know what? I will do that if 323.50 wants to come into play. But obviously it needs to first come into play. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and pause for now. And this is exactly why I only did 50, because now, clearly wasn't right. It's not like it just went right away. Doing a little consolidating, but that's everything that I'd mapped up from the get-go. But at 323.50, definitely would be interested in adding some more, but we'll see if it can break that trend line or not. I will pause for the time being. Okay, coming down, watching 323.50 for the add. Okay, added there. Actually got 23.65. Now let's see if we can get some momentum down through this trend line here. Yep, 323.50. There's the break. Watching 323 now. Can we get the push down through there? Still watching. Can't even think about it at all, taking profits, unless it gets to 323 minimum. And definitely being stubborn area down here. Can it push down through? 322.80 is actually going to be the golden goose area. But 323 very clearly being quite the stubborn level. So I took out 25. All right, there we go. Just no downwards momentum wants to show up on this. Very disappointing. Still have 25 shares if this thing wants to go, but all right, well, I'm just not getting the breakdowns I want to get, but all right, well, Facebook, what is that? 323.75. Potentially another short-sided trade here. Just came down to that too fast. I don't like that. Feels like it could very, very easily snap back here. So that was a great setup. I just don't like the way the price came down to it. What's NVAX up to all of a sudden? Oh, that's quite the move down. All right, I will go ahead and pause. Okay, watching 63 here on DWACW. Well, that's why you wait for confirmation. If somehow this candle comes back up, though, then yeah, 63, in my mind, would be very interesting. However, as of right now, the candle just keeps going the opposite direction. But I've seen crazier things. So it's at least worth watching, because who knows? This could be an awesome real-life example. But maybe nothing's going to happen other than it just continues to drop. And as of right now, that seems to be that this is actually a genuine move to the downside here. I'm curious about this $51 mark. All right, I'll go ahead and pause. All right, I'm going to hop in here at, what did I get in at? 46. Let's see if we can get this move up through 49. And that fast, I'm back in the red. Let's see if this thing wants to give it another go. $49 though, wow. There we go. Well, tried on that one to get out at 49.50, which would have been very, very nice compared to what I was risking. But I didn't get filled, but now it's back up there. But I have no problem admitting this thing is just crazy. I mean, this is a $5 spread. That's why I went with 25 shares. I would have made basically 100, not about $75, but $3 per share, which again compared to what I was risking, would have been favorable. But I mean this thing's crazy. I don't know. I'm not quite sure how I didn't get out at 40. I'll have to scroll back on the video and rewatch it. But yeah, I mean, I guess I know because this thing's crazy, right? So just because it appears like, okay, I'm going to be able to get out at 49.50, things can change very, very quickly on it. But yeah, in hindsight, I should have went way more than 25 shares, but had this thing all of a sudden collapse $10 per share, $5 per share, which is very, very possible on this one. I mean, look at that move there. That move was 52 down to 41. What, $11 move in 1 minute? $11 down. So you never quite know, but and that there was probably some FOMO there, just wanting to be part of that. But I suppose I'll give myself some credit because yes, you don't want to trade based on FOMO. You don't want to trade based on those emotions. But at least somewhere in the deep, dark crevices of my mind, I acknowledged that it was FOMO. How do I know that I acknowledged it was FOMO? Because I did 25 shares. So I'm not saying that's an excuse. I was trading from FOMO here. But like I said, I'll cut myself some slack and say, at least I did 25 shares here. But that would make sense given, yeah, sure, I'd like to get back to the green, but also FOMO is just not a good habit, and those habits are clearly starting to creep back in. So I'm just going to call it good. Down $288, and nothing that, again, money doesn't grow on trees, so I'm not trying to come across as being ungrateful or anything like that. But from just kind of a broad macro, strategy perspective, something that can quickly be wiped away. And then sometimes that's just the name of the game, is things don't quite go your way. And that was my day. I struggled today. There's no doubt about that. No need to try to play it off. Things went my favor. I just didn't quite have enough patience. Besides BYND, that thing was a total joke. Like, got that great break and then nothing other than it just bouncing back around. But at least I, got out and still locked in a green part on that. And look at this thing now up at $54. But and then Facebook played that one fine. What else? mRNA. Yeah, that one was decent. And then DWACW, a complete FOMO trade that I should not have taken. And I get it. What do you mean you shouldn't have taken? Look, you were right. Yeah, that's true. But just given the context of things, I should not have taken it. But at least I did, subconsciously admit the FOMO by doing only 25 shares. And it is what it is. But everybody, thank you for watching. If you enjoy these live trade videos, do me a favor, because these are not easy videos to make. I have to think for myself. I have to talk to you. I have to make my own trades. I have to make alerts in the chat room that I offer. So there's a lot going on, but they're doable. I just need to make sure that they're still enjoyable, because if I'm going to put in the time and effort to do them, I just want to make sure that you're enjoying. So if you do enjoy, communicate that to me by doing two things. Hit that like button and then leave a basic comment, even if it's saying hi. Any number of your choosing, a smiley face, a ticker symbol that you traded today. But any of those things, just let me know in the comment section, and also hit that like button. And as long as I know that people are still finding interest, I will continue to make these videos. So everybody take care. Just realize you can't win every single day. Sometimes you just got to survive. You got to just manage that risk. And that's just the type of day that it was for me today. But you know what? It is what it is. Happens to everybody. And whether or not they show it publicly, that's a whole nother discussion. But it is what it is. It does happen. So everybody, thank you. Take care. Have a good one. First off, thanks so much for watching the entire video. Real quick, before you go, I want to invite you to a live webinar, web class, training, workshop, online event, whatever you want to call it, but it will be me live revealing to you what I've discovered that has allowed me to transform myself from being an employee to being my own boss, including how I had only one losing day out of 73 days in total. I'm going to cover 3 keys that have helped me unlock profitable consistency within the markets. The first key is super weird, but in a productive type of way. The second key is super awesome because it quite literally is wired into our DNA as humans, making it very easy to use. But in a cruel way, this becomes a pitfall for many traders. I'll explain it all though, including how to avoid the pitfall that it creates for some. And yeah, the third key, when you hear it, sounds way too good to be true, but it's not, and I'll show you how it all works. Then at the end, I open it up for a question and answer session that is, again, totally live. Even if you can't make the live session, please still sign up as it will be recorded, and you can go back and watch the replay that I will send you. Click the image on the screen or click the link down in the description box so you can get the date and time and claim your spot, which I should note is limited due to the fact that this truly is a live event. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, I'll be seeing you soon.